So we have now multiplied a decimal number with a whole number. Now we will multiply a decimal number with a decimal number. How did we represent a decimal number? We represented a decimal number with the whole number and a fraction of it. So here with the graph sheet being used like this, you can multiply one decimal point with another number with another one decimal point only. Okay. When you scale it, you can do more than that, but right now this is what you can do. So that means I can take the same 2.5, let's say, 2 and 0.5, and let's say I want to multiply it by 3.7. So that means this length will be 3. And then I want a 0.7, so that means 0.5 is still here, and then I'm going to have 0.6, 0.7, and I have to complete the rectangle. That's all. This is my product of 2.5 with this side is 3.7, 3.7. And as you have with any multiplication, that is a 2-digit multiplication, you are going to have what used to be the whole numbers. In that case it used to be hundreds. You can correlate it with the 25 times 37, for example. But these are the these are the whole numbers. So that's clearly 6 of them. That's a given. Then you have the 0.5, so that's 1, 2, these two together give you one more, right? And then here also you have 2.5s, so that also give you another one. And then you have smaller pieces. This is a 0.5, and if you look at these, there were 2 of these, so 2 plus 2, 4, 0.4. So this give you a 0.4, this gave you a 0.5. So together these gave you a 2.9 plus 6, that is 8.9. And then you have what is left here. So that is 5 times, it's actually 0.5 times 0.7. So that's 0.35. So you have 25 here plus another 5, it becomes 35. So this is 0.35. So you can get 2 decimal points at least in one graph sheet with this dimensions. Yeah. So your total is 6, 7, 8, 8.9 plus 0.35. So 9.25. This is what you get. So when you multiply it out and check, that's what you should get. So when you multiply it out, you get the same, right? You put the decimal points, 2 decimal points in the end, and that's something that's perfectly fine to use. That the number of digits you have after the decimal point, following the decimal point, you add all the number of digits following the decimal point, and that many number of digits should be following the decimal point even in your result. So that is perfectly fair to say. Okay, so how about getting up to 4 digits of decimal? So for that you have to scale the entire thing by 10. Which means what I considered 1 will be 10. So I'll take a small number, that's the only thing you can do here. So let's say we take, so you take 1 that is 10 squares. So it's scaled up by 10. And then you have 1.5. So now 5 is 5 of these squares. And then I can get a second decimal point. Okay, and that is actually what used to be the rods that we were looking at. So this becomes the second decimal point. So it's 0.04. So this is 1.54. And I'm going to multiply this with 1.3. So that's 3 of these. And let's say 0.02. So 1.32. So I'm multiplying 1.54 with 1.32. So that was actually 4 squares. So I'm multiplying 1.54 with 1.42, this one. So here of course 1 times 1 is a full 1. Okay, this will take a little getting used to, the brain will take a little getting used to, because everything is 10 times. So I need 10 of those to get what I used to get before. These are the rods, this is still 0.5. So this whole thing is equivalent to 1.5. And this is equivalent to 1.4. Now when you multiply the 2, you actually get 20 of the smaller pieces. So which is 20 point, like 0.01, 20 of those. So that becomes 0.2. This of course is a 0.2 multiplied by 1 is still 0.02. This is a 0.04 multiplied by 1 is still 0.04. These two now have the second decimal place. So it is your 0.04 multiplied by 0.4 will become 0.016. 0.02 multiplied by 0.5 will become 0.01, and this will be the last decimal point. So the addition of all these gives us the result. So which gives us the big one, 0.5 plus 0.4 is 0.9, the 0.2 is this area, then this 0.02 and 0.04, 0.06, 0.01, 0.016, 0.026, and then of course a smaller number. So this is the result that we would get if you did multiplication of these numbers and then put 4 decimal points, also you will get the same result.